Hello, everyone. Hello. This is a very, very, very impromptu stream. Thank you for joining. I'm the SCWhisperer, host, one half of the Talking Tactics podcast. Hope you're all having a wonderful, wonderful evening. The purpose of tonight's live stream, probably just to answer a couple of your guys' questions, go through my team, maybe tinker with some FPL on the side if we get a little bit quiet. But hopefully we are all having an absolutely ripper night. FPL is, well, EPL, I should say, is less than 12 hours away, about 10 hours on the dot. So it's very, very exciting. Liverpool taking on Bournemouth to start the season. Really, really looking forward to it. Good to see my better half, Deadly, in the chat. What are your thoughts on Cameron Smith? Keenan Dewsbury Hall. Have a ripping night, mate. We've got a couple of people in the chat already, which is absolutely wonderful. Hopefully, we're all having a great night. I'm going to do some admin on the side. We're going to ramble for a little bit. We'll get, my team up. We'll answer some questions. We'll go over any kind of news that comes through. Deadly is doing an absolutely wonderful job at providing some press conference updates from all the managers around the league in our very free $0 totally free to join WhatsApp. If you want to get involved in that, then reach out. You guys know where to find me. But if you do have any questions, please feel free to put them in the chat, and I can do my best to help out. But that was the entire point of this live stream. How long are we going to go for? Absolutely no idea. Probably half an hour to 40 minutes. If it really pops off, we'll go a bit longer. But yeah, we'll depend on how we go. Don't jump in. Hey, hello, my man. I believe we are jumping on some 2K later on. Well, I'm definitely jumping on once I finish up today with this live stream, but hopefully you're doing well, my friend. We'll try and pull up my stream. Don't jump in. Frimpong or Kukurea? Kukurea at 7.6, Frimpong at 6.5. Really, really annoying that no one asked Arne Slot in the press conference the severity of Connor Bradley's injury. So really, really not sure what to do there. I still think Frimpong starts. Still think he gets good minutes. Connor Bradley's a very, very good wing back to give cover. So I'd probably go Kukurea. I'd probably pay the extra 1.1 million. He's taken the piss in preseason. He's playing a bit of left 10, sitting in some of those pockets there. So he is a guy that I am really, really looking at. IFS Maverick, hello. Another wing of the Insight tree. Mo Salah a lock. Not for me. I just think 15.5 million is just way too expensive for what I think might be a slow start for Mo. That's I've had that might be the last time that we say that. He might even get more expensive, but I'm going to be fading Mo Salah. I just think that it's probably a bit too much cash that I want to be spending on the side. But we'll pull up my team whilst we're waiting for some questions to come through. If you did watch the team reveal podcast, not a whole lot has changed since there. I have dropped Raul Jimenez and brought in Igor Thiago. Just some transfer news around Brentford. Johan Visser pretty much locked in to go to Newcastle. So opens the door up for Igor Thiago. Nottingham Forest snapped one of their transfers as well, which I think it leaves an open path for the former man from Club Bruges. Midfield is still very much the same. And the only changes on the bench, I think Kukurea has come in for Steve, and that is it. Yeah, so it's just the two changes from the team reveal last night. Still pretty much very much locked in, ready to go. As I said, 5 o'clock this morning, set your alarms, get up nice and early. Lockout is, I believe, at 5 o'clock on the dot. Our teams will be at 4 a.m. So if you do want to set an alarm, get up 4 a.m. Teams will be in 1 hour before every single game. So 4 a.m. And then 8:30 tomorrow night as well, which is a much more manageable time and a nice little game. Then we have Goal Rush coming. We've got 3 games. Great to see football back at the Stadium of Light. I think that's a huge, huge thing. Stadium of Light's an absolutely brilliant stadium. Very blessed to have watched some football there as well. So great stadium. Don't Jump Man says, is that my VCNC locked in? I believe so. I think it will be. West Ham playing Sunderland. I think it's not a matchup that you froth over. A newly promoted side at home. I remember Liverpool took on... this is going to test my memory. Liverpool took on a newly promoted side 2 years ago away from home, and it was very much a scare. So, look, it's been a very, very tough time for Sunderland over the last couple of years. Back-to-back relegations from the Prem, from the Championship, down into League One, back up into the Prem. So really, really good to see for them. I think their fans will be absolutely buzzing in the Northeast up there. So look, yeah, not expecting the world from Jared Bowen, but if he gives me like 10 points, I think I'm just definitely going to be taking that one, especially in week 1. And Cole Palmer for captaincy as well. Obviously, some other guys like Bruno and Bukayo Saka. Saka taking on United at Old Trafford, and Fernandez also taking on Arsenal at Old Trafford as well. Just probably going to avoid those 2 fixtures this week, but definitely looking at Bukayo Saka next week against Leeds, which I'm pretty sure is at home from memory. So it's nice to have 4 real good standout captaincy options. Ollie Watkins as well. He's got a pretty good start to the season, I should say. So he's a guy that I'm going to be looking to captain a couple of weeks as well. But yeah, this is pretty much like what I'm running with, pending anything major coming from teams. Couple questions in chat. Deadly, carrying it. Thank you very much. Ken Chuck, my updated team if you want. I think that means I have to open up my private Facebook, and I do not want to do that on stream. So yeah, I'm sure you'll post yours on Twitter. Go give at SC Deadly a follow on Twitter. He'll post his final team as well. It was Fulham. Yeah. It was it was Darwin Núñez's debut. He was terrible. I do remember that. Yeah, it was a newly promoted team a couple of years ago. Yeah, Craven Cottage. That's right. I couldn't remember if it was Norwich or if it was Fulham or one of those just mediocre teams like a Sheffield United. Just one of those very mid teams. Game week 1 away from home. So yeah, no slam dunk pick for Jared Bowen for me. But that's pretty much where we're going to be sitting with the SuperCoach side of things. Might pull up my FPL team. Not that anyone really cares, but it's good to have it here in case anyone really cares. A hot topic, I'm going with no Salah, no Haaland in FPL, which is much more criminal than it is in SuperCoach. So yeah, I could get absolutely binned. But from a SuperCoach standpoint, really happy with this team. Playing over the last couple of years, you're looking at a guy like Joe Rodon, looking at Adrian Truffert, you're looking at Quindelly Hartman, like all these really, really cheap guys. I think they score points. Guys like Max Kilman last year scored like 5.8 points a game. Calvin Bassey scored 5 points a game. So if I can get any kind of production out of that really, really cheap defense, then fantastic. I was tossing up Kukurea or like a Victor Gyökeres. That's probably like the only thing I'm unsure of. It would just be Kukurea to Maxima Steve and Igor Thiago to Victor Gyökeres. But I just think with the news that I think the runway is pretty clear for Igor Thiago, then that's where I'm going to be heading. I just think at 3.7 million, most likely on pens, it's very tough for me to pass that up. Let's have I'll try and sign into my FPL team. I'll pull it up if anyone wants to roast that one. But yeah, hopefully you're having a great Friday night. Hopefully you're setting your alarms, getting plenty of sleep, saying goodbye to your family for the next 38 weeks. It's going to be more than that because of international breaks and stuff like that. So we're going to be closer to 42. But yeah, it's what we sign up for. Sean, how do you feel about running with Wirtz, Holly Watkins, and Haaland? Yeah, I mean, Wirtz is insane. He is a generational talent, and if he was at 8 million, I would have him in the midfield in a heartbeat. I'd pay 10 million for him in the midfield. It's just at forward, I'm just unsure, and I'm unsure how much his game's going to translate. Is he going to be a 25 goal and assist kind of player this year? I think he's definitely got the talent to do so. He's probably one of the best 10s in the world. Or is he going to be that pass to assist kind of guy? You know, the pass before the assist, which Liverpool will absolutely love, but it's not going to translate well for scoring. So I think it is a real wild card, and I think he could be absolutely brilliant. He's going to rack up a bunch of key dribbles, key passes, final third passes, big chances created. He's going to be on some set pieces as well, which is great. Was taking corners. So I think Wirtz is a very, very good option. It's just not one that I can go with for now. If he looks very, very, very good, I can downgrade Ollie Watkins to him as well. Very, very curious to see what happens with Aston Villa and their penalties. Whether it is going to be Yuri Tillemans or will it be an Ollie Watkins. I would hope it's an Ollie Watkins. Yuri Tillemans took one last year missed it, and then for the rest of the season, it was Watkins on them. There is fears that Marco Asensio is coming to Aston Villa, and he will be on pens. But for now, I think with the fixtures that Aston Villa do have, I think Ollie Watkins at 8.3 can definitely tread ground and has the ability to go a little bit higher as well. If he's averaging, say, 9.5 points for the first 6 weeks, I think you've done a really, really good job picking him there. So I like those 2 picks. And the last one is, that's the wrong question. I don't know why I have that up. Apologies, Silvertail. I will come back to that. And the last one, Erling Haaland. I don't need to sit here and tell you Erling Haaland is the best striker in the world. I think we all know that. And if he pops off, he will absolutely send your rank skyrocketing. Last year, he started like a house on fire. He's a notorious fast starter. His game doesn't translate to this scoring format overly too well if he does go without periods of a dry spell, because he doesn't really do a whole lot apart from just banging goals. But you see at the start of last year when he was firing 9 against Chelsea, 31, 20, 15. Like he can bag goals for fun. So at 11.5 million, you're captaining him. What I'll do is, whilst I'm answering some questions, I'll pull up some fixture tickers, but he's got a really, really good set of fixtures to start the season as well. Silvertail, ugly opinion, but what about Richarlison at 4.5? Likely starting with Solanke recovering. Frank spoke highly of him tonight. Easy opening draw for Tottenham and just a short-term play to make some money. My concern with Richarlison is how long until Solanke is back starting? Is it a week? Is it 2 weeks? Is he back starting for Man City? I think if we had an FPL model of transfers, I would be more keen, where there's no cap on there. But I think because we only have 44 trades in 38 weeks, it's not something that I'm overly keen on. I think if you're looking to spend around that money and you're looking for like a goal scorer, I think Nicholas Fulkrug out of West Ham could probably be your guy. If he can stay on the park, his body is made of glass last year, but 4.6 million for a talisman, probably second in line on pens behind Lucas Paqueta. I think he's probably an option that I would rather have over Richarlison if we're looking at that 4.5 to 4.7 million price range. I obviously like Igor Thiago at 3.7 as well. Ollie Watkins, Sean, should we drop Ollie or Wirtz for a cheaper option? If yes, who to bring in Bruno into the middle, Bowen? Drop Ollie or Wirtz to give yourself some cash to bring in Bruno into the midfield or Bowen? Just clarify, but is that what you're asking? If you're going to take the cash out of the forward line, put it into midfield. I'd need to know who you're dropping in midfield to bring in that. But no, look, honestly, like I really like the Wirtz play. I really like Wirtz. I really like Watkins. As you can see, Watkins is in my team. And I think he can offer a lot. I think he can offer really good upside in Florian Wirtz. If we look at I'd love to look at the ownership in the forward line, because I feel like it's very wide open, the forward line. You can go a couple of different directions. So we've got Haaland at 43%, Salah at 30%. Salah at 30%, I think, is absolutely crazy personally. Florian Wirtz at 20.6. Honestly, 20.6 could be a real pod move because he could just pop off. He could absolutely pop off. I still think his game suited very well to the SuperCoach scoring format. And for anyone that I guess isn't familiar with the SuperCoach scoring format, we should probably cover it because the game starts tomorrow. So we'll look at point scoring. Make sure that's on the screen. Okay, so a goal scored for forward. And this is like the reason why I was probably a little bit less keen on a forward. Because, yeah, less points for goals and no points for clean sheets. So if the game ends 1-0 and player A scores a goal and he's a forward and player B scores a goal and he's a midfielder, he gets 4 points more for that game. So something worth considering. But the things that I think that Wirtz can do very well, I think he can get shots on target quite well. He can get a lot of key passes. I don't think he's going to get too many crosses. He's occupying that sort of half 10 role, playing more centrally, so less crosses, but a lot of successful dribbles. I think that's where he's really going to shine. So, yeah, I really like Wirtz. Deadly said, my mate Mason Mount will have a bounce back here. Thoughts on that? I hate Mason Mount. It was like 3 or 4 years ago. Chelsea won 7-0 against Norwich in FPL. I captained Kai Havertz, and in a 7-0 game, Kai Havertz came away with no returns, and Mason Mount absolutely hauled. So, yeah, not a fan. Lockie Camilleri, do you need to have a bit more money in the bank because scoring is so volatile? With a 3-round average, only got 10,000 in the bank. LOL. I do only have 10,000 in the bank. I'm also just not planning on making a million trades. Like, I've set my team up to be kind of okay. I understand I've got no flexibility in my defense. I'm not really getting anywhere off 3.7, 3.5, 3.7, 3.7. Got a little bit in Kukurea. I can move him down and go around there. But, like, we have 44 trades in 38 weeks. We have blanks to contend with. We have international break injuries to contend with. We have midweek domestic cup competitions to contend with. We have European competitions to contend with. I'm looking to make trades where I'm absolutely need to. I also have nearly $40 million or £40 million in my 3-star midfielders. And a mid-pricer in Tajini Reinders, who I can go up and down with, and Kenan Drewsbury Hall, who I think is going to provide a lot of value at 3.9, even if he is playing a bit deeper in that 8 role rather than a central 10. On set pieces, really happy with him. Obviously, can move Bukayo Saka down. There are so many options. If Hugo Ekitike continues to stay as the number 9 at Liverpool and Alexander Isak doesn't come after the game week 3, I believe it's game week 3 transfer window closes, I can definitely move off Bukayo Saka into a Hugo Ekitike. If Benjamin Sesko looks really good, I can move him down. There's 4 million saved. And if Victor Gyökeres also looks good, and he's on pens, can make a mockery of 7.5 million. Ollie Watkins as well, another one that can come down. So, look, I'd love to have some more money in the bank, of course, but it's not the be-all and end-all for me. If I don't happen to have the money to move around, we've got some boosts to contend with, but with 44 trades, and Lockie, like you've been in many cash comps of mine, you understand how volatile this game can be with injuries. If a guy goes through a small downturn of form, it's probably a case where I'm going to just have to ride it out. I think most of us are going to have to just ride it out with the injuries that we have. Skeggs, FPL team, question mark. Oh, I'm trying to pull it up, but the website is incredibly slow. So I might have to go back through some DMs that I've sent to some friends and pull it up. There we go. I think we can do it here. If I stop sharing my screen, start sharing it again, and bring this up. I hope this works. Yeah, this is my FPL team. Hopefully, yeah, rip it apart by all means. No Salah, no Haaland. Very volatile strategy, but yeah, I got my reasons. In goal, Robert Sanchez. Back 3 of your Joachim Anderson, Tosin, and Nikola Milankovic. A very, very loaded midfield of Bukayo Saka, Bruno Fernandes, Cole Palmer, Florian Wirtz, Cody Gakpo. Front 2 of Victor Gyökeres and Ollie Watkins, with a bench of Dubravka, Chris Richards, Mark Gui, and Quindeli Hartman. No Salah, no Haaland in FPL is a much crazier strategy to run than it is in Supercoach. I understand the risks associated, but yeah, happy to run the gauntlet. I've got a plan on bench boosting in 2 wildcard, bench boost 2, free hit 4, and wildcard 6. So that's where I'm sort of at with FPL. Back to the beautiful game that is Supercoach. Virgil or save the money and go Pong. I think Pong. Like, yeah, I think, I don't know, like Virgil is priced at what he's at, I guess. Like 9.4. Like, I'd love to know what his ceiling was, because I'd never owned him last year either. I don't think he really ever burnt me. Got 1 20-point game as a real primo. You're really just banking on the clean sheets. I would happily wait. I think Liverpool's defense doesn't look overly fantastic to me personally. I think they're going to be an absolutely lethal team attacking, and they'll probably win games like 3-1. But I do worry about their defensive cohesion. Milos Kerkez and Jeremy Frimpong coming in changes the way that they're going to defend. Ryan Gravenberch out for game week 1 as well. So I'd be happy to wait and hope that Verge comes down to like 7.5 or so and pick him up. So that's probably where I'm at with Verge, and I'd rather just take the upside in Frimpong at 6.5 if that's where you want it to go. Global, g'day lads. G'day mate. Hope you're having a great night. Ned, I'm new to this and don't know about soccer. Should I play? Absolutely. Look, if you're going to play properly, it's a long commitment. It's the longest SuperCoach commitment you're going to make out of any of the sports as at 38 weeks. So strap in, be prepared. Deadly and I will be here every Saturday morning. Real cartoon TV kind of vibes. It'll be up at 7 o'clock on a Saturday morning every week, and you can get your cereal and watch me and Deadly talk some round ball. But yeah, mate, absolutely give it a crack. I play NBL. I've got no idea about that. I'm a very casual cricket fan. I play BBL, love that. Play AFL. Don't really have much idea about that. Some would say I don't have any idea about NRL either. So, mate, of course, SuperCoach is great. Fantasy sports are absolutely unreal. Deadly. Anyone who wants bragging rights, put rivalry against Charlie XGX. Absolutely. If you want to set up rivalries for Deadly and myself, my team is Charlie XGX. So it's CHARLI space XGX. And my name is Josh, as most of you know. So you'll be able to see that and set up a rivalry against me. And if you want to set up a rivalry against Deadly, Stephen Pienaar is his team name. STEVEN space PIENAAR. And his name is James. So you'll be able to see both of us set up rivalries. Yeah, let us know how you're going because, really looking forward to it. Dylan, if you have a midfielder out, does that over Ben H position cover? I think there's a typo there, but if you're playing maximum players in your slot, no. The way that your bench works is it'll be first cab off the rank. First cab off the rank for example, here, Hartman scores 5 points, Truffett scores 3, Rodon doesn't play, Truffett comes in. Deadly, correct me if I'm wrong, if it's top scorer or lowest scorer. You know the ins and outs more than I do. But if a midfielder of mine doesn't play this week, I don't get a score. It only correlates with the line that you're on. So, yeah, absolutely. Lachlan, your name is better UI than FPL. Mate, anything's better UI than FPL. What have they done this season? They've absolutely cooked it. Do we have an Insight League we can join? Absolutely. Let me grab the code for you. We've got FPL and EPL codes. Would absolutely love for everyone to join. First prize is going to be a Premier League jersey of your choosing. Second prize will be an Insight Unlimited membership for all the sports that we cover over on Patreon. And third will be, I believe, $50 cash. That's what I've committed to. The league codes, get your pens and papers ready. For SuperCoach EPL, it is 126724. Repeat, 126724. And for FPL, it is MFZGN3. MF for you, MFR, ZGN3. So join both of those, and I'd love to have you guys with some prizes on offer as well across both fantasy formats. And yes, Deadly said lowest score. So if Truffett got 3 and Hartman got 5, I would have Truffett. It's the same AE. For anyone that's played NRL, it's the same as your AE. So it's just your lowest scorer, but instead of lowest scorer across the whole team, it's just lowest scorer in your line of position. So the way that I'm setting up now into 3-5-2, if for whatever reason Palmer, Bowen, Fernandez, Reinders, or Drisby Hall don't play, I would be a man down. So maybe there's some strategy if you want to make sure you've always got an option. The only way that you'd be able to have an option across everywhere is running a 4-4-2. Would be like that to have bench cover everywhere. But you can change your formation during the week, and you can change your formation every single week, as long as the players aren't locked out as well. So, oh goodness, I don't want to be starting Truffett against Liverpool. And I don't want to be starting Hartman either against Tottenham. So happy with where I've sat there. But yeah, goodness me, 25 minutes time has gone over very, very quick. Yeah. Any other questions, let me know. Happy to ramble for a little bit. Happy to talk some EPL predictions. Happy to talk about pretty much whatever. I've got probably another 10, 15 minutes just to answer a couple more questions and look to wrap it up. Global said sorted. Absolutely. Yeah, good to have you, mate. Yeah, once again, it's across FPL and SuperCoach EPL. It's going to be a Premier League jersey of your choosing. If you don't nominate, I will send you a West Ham jersey. So make sure that you've specified which jersey you do want. And love to have you both. Good to see the Wars are beating the Dragons as my Dragons hate watch continues. Ned, I just subscribed. Thank you so much, mate. Mate, we don't just cover EPL over on here as well. We cover every single fantasy sport you can think of, apart from MLB and NHL. We're on the lookout for some experts if you want to be in that. But no, we cover NRL, AFL, EPL, BBL, NFL, NBA, NBL. We have experts across the range. So whatever sorts you fancy, Ned, we'd love to have you on board. Mitch, any value in Dorgo? We'll go Hartman and spend cash better. I love Dorgu. I absolutely love Dorgu. I just can't make it work. I got 10,000 cash in the bank. Like I can't get him in. So I absolutely love him. I'd be sitting him in week 1, but he's playing a very, very, very advanced role, whipping in balls for fun in that Amarim system. We know those wing backs are so key in Ruben Amarim system as well. So I love Dorgu at 4.4 million. Really like Lenny Yoro at 3.9 million as well. So yeah, plenty of value. Hartman, I just think he's one of the better 3.7 million defenders. On set pieces, playing a really advanced foot. He's just like a B-Tech, like an Aldi version of Dorgu in a really worse team. So I didn't really want him and the Steve. So just went with the guy that's more attacking. Harrison Sheehan. Thoughts on Johan Arias? Love Arias. Love watching him at the Club World Cup. Really like that he's in the system at Wolves that's going to allow him to have a bit of creativity and a bit of flair. I think he's on pens. I know a lot of people think Jorgen Strand-Larsen will be on pens. Jorgen Strand-Larsen has taken 3 pens in his career, all 3 of those being in the under 21 level. Hasn't taken one for 5 years. Johan Arias has taken 12 in his career. He's scored 9 of those. Took 1 in the Club World Cup as well. Yeah, really, really flair player. Just really, really flair player. So 5.5 million, I think, is a really, really nice price. Wolves, not sure how they're going to go this year. I think they might be fighting for relegation, maybe finishing around 16th, 17th. So, well, not the best attacking team, but if you're ever watching a Wolves game, he's the excitement machine. Deadly says, get me on the MLB show. What the hell? His 9 hours of MLB show will teach you. Yeah. Big ups, Jake Berger. Ned, last question. How do I pick a team when I know nothing? Mate, start building it, and I can tell you who's good and who's not. Obviously, yeah, we've got a lot of players on the podcast, but if you've left it this late, it's nearly 8 o'clock on Friday, and the game starts at 5 a.m. tomorrow. So you probably left it a bit late to binge the podcasts. But if you want to go have a look, Ned, Deadly and I, for the first 20 minutes of yesterday's episode, I think we call it like SuperCoach must-haves or something like that. It's the last episode on this channel for the EPL. We both reveal our teams. Deadly is the other expert on this channel. So have a watch of that, build some teams. Reach out to me on Twitter at SCWhisperer. Reach out to Deadly at SCDeadly as well. We can try and give you a bit of a steer. Any insights on Jarrell Hatto for Chelsea? Will he start? No, not for Gameweek 1, I don't think. They brought him in before the Levi Colwell ACL injury. It looks like Trevor Chalobah and Tosin are going to be starting at centre-back. If they play a back 3, I'd love to know who the other centre-back's going to be. I just don't think it'll be Hatto yet. I think he's a very, very talented left centre-back, but I probably can't start with him just yet. I think he will be someone that we do own eventually. Lockie Camilleri, a doggy at 27% ownership is still cooked. Absolutely. He's not going to be fit for game week 1. And I think Jed Spence is a very, very good wingback. I think Jed Spence could cut some minutes out of Destiny Doggy. You know, the fact that James Madison is now out for the season, I think it's going to be quite imperative to Thomas Frank that Pedro Porro stays on the field and on set pieces, on corners and free kicks as well. So, yeah, 27% is a bit crazy. We can go through that, actually. Before we wrap up, I might go through some ownerships and maybe the top 30 players and say whether I like them or loathe them. Silvertail, 1 for 1. Caicedo or Reinders? I'm looking at 6.5-ish million. Thoughts? I think Reinders. I just think Caicedo's priced at what he's priced at. Like, I don't really see a whole lot of improvement. Why can't I pull this up? There it is, Moses Caicedo. We'll have a look at his stats from last year, but I just think guys like this are priced at what they're priced at. Like Tijani Reinders is a freak. He was a freak at AC Milan, playing in like an advanced 8 sort of mini 10 role. I do think he probably plays a little bit more reserved with Rodri out for a while, but I still think he's quite nailed in this team. But like we can see here, right, played 90 minutes pretty much every single week, barring one game of 65 minutes. there's no value for me. Like I'm looking at guys that, like, for example, Tosin from Chelsea, priced at 6.7, but averaged like 9 when he was starting. I'm looking at sort of that, like Moses Caicedo, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 games out of like 30 something over 10 points. It's just, I think he's priced at what he's at. I'd take a flyer on Reinders, honestly. And that's just me. Thoughts on Mateta from Crystal Palace, the third forward? Yeah, big John Paul fan. I think he's like 7.3 million. If he's on pens, absolutely. Like, the draw is a bit tricky, but really, really like John Philippe Mateta. He is a guy that will go on runs, and when you catch him hot, he is hot. Like, look at this. Like, he 13, 22, 25, 14, 11, 15. Like, when he gets hot, he gets very, very hot. When he gets cold, he can be quite frustrating. But if he's on pens, or even splitting pens with Eberechi Eze, if he stays at Palace, then absolutely love John Paul. Love him even more if Eze leaves. It's going to be like a Ismail Assar and John Philippe Mateta just up top, ripping and tearing. Other ones, I'd say generally picking up ownership is good if you've got no idea. Yes and no. I think, Lockie, I think you'd agree as well. Like, as a seasoned FPL player, like, I think some of the ownerships are cooked. I think like, there's so many guys under like 2% ownership that are like, I think are genuinely really good picks. I'd love to like filter by ownership in my team. I'm not saying my team is gospel by any means, but I think there's some guys under 5% that are like gems that people aren't. And maybe it's like an audience that maybe doesn't know the EPL like the back of their hand, which is cool. Like, I'd love to see this game grow in Australia. I'd love to see fandom in Australia grow even more because of it. I think fantasy sports in general are a huge, huge tick to improve people's knowledge. I always stand by an opinion that I think a very, very switched on fantasy player knows more about a league as a whole than some desperate fans of one team. Like, you play NRL, like, like, the top 30s of basically every NRL team. And some fans of clubs couldn't even tell you the top 30 of their own team. So I think I'd love to see this game grow. SuperCoach were really, really big on the fact that we had 20,000 signups in 2 days, which is like one of the biggest startups that they've had for a sport. So I'd love to see that keep growing. Bookend Whisperer workhorse. Mate, yeah, look, I've actually found the passion for making content again. Went through a phase there for a year and a half where I generally was just hating it. I was hating making content, and yeah, I'm glad that I love that now. I love being part of Insight. Love being on the I'm not even on the ownership board, but like, I think I've got a bit of swing in decisions we make. So I love that. I love making content again. I'm glad that you guys are enjoying it. Deadly James McAtee, remember the name, watch his space. Absolutely gets a start at Nottingham Forest there. If he gets the start in the 10 role, absolutely think he could be an absolute steal. And he's a guy I think you guys need to be having your eye on, putting him in a bit of a watch list. James McAtee, 4.1 million midfielder, will move to Nottingham Forest eventually, and could be a great thing. Cannot believe you're not going Haaland. Oh, mate, trust me. I'm terrified of not owning the big Norwegian, but hopefully it doesn't burn me too much. If he's averaging less than 11 points across the first 5 weeks, I think I've done really well. I think I need to have him from game week 5 onwards. Just have to work out how we're going to do it, whether it's through Saka, whether it's through Watkins. Maybe you could have a Saka Haaland front two and downgrade a Reinders or a Kukurea if they're not performing. Or like move a Vicario to like a Hartmanson if I haven't spelled his name right. West Ham goalkeeper, I think we'll start at 4.5 soon as well. Was Rodri actually out? I've seen conflicting comments when it was actually he's not the best until game week 4. Now he's out until then. Yeah, mate. So Pep said he's not going to be fully fit until after the first international break. So yeah, going to be out for a little bit. If he'll be on pens if Eze, absolutely will be on. In terms of John Philippe Mateta, yeah, he'll be on pens if Eze leaves. But he's splitting with Eze now, which is great. Eze is not like the most selfish forward either. So and Mateta will snatch the ball out of your hand. So happy with that. Thoughts on Robbie Slater picking Foden, Isak, Seamus Coleman, Udogie, and Bamford? Mate, what is SuperCoach doing? Like, get some people that know ball. I understand Robbie Slater is a legend of Australian football, but like, man, like, what are we doing? Get the old whispering. Get the whispering to do some content for SC EPL. Bowen Point only 5.7% owned is a great example. Yeah, crazy. I think crazy example of Bowen. I think he's an absolute stud. I think his game translates really, really well for SuperCoach. Talisman for us as well. Yeah, love him. Love Jared Bowen as a West Ham fan. Also, is there a best option for a Nuff goalie? I would say it's Tyra. There was a guy from Aston Villa that's no longer in the league, but he's now out of the game, unfortunately, so you can't get him. But I would say it's Tyra. I think, yeah, they work best. Like, their fixtures just work best. I'll probably start him every week as well. Like, I'll probably just end up doing a bit of these ones and knowing that he's not going to play, and I'll get Vicario Score to come in. I can captain him and whatnot. So that's, yeah, where I'm at. Finish up the Coke Zero. Have a look at some ownerships before we finish up. And, yeah. I think Forest and Newcastle, Nuff goalkeepers actually might have later games early on in the season, which means you don't have to be awake at midnight. Let's have a look. Nope, that's my NRL fantasy team. You guys don't need to see that. Casual flex the rank. Check that one out. Fantasy Premier League. Where are we at? Here we go. Let's have a look. We'll pull up the fixtures and we can try and work out who's got the best. Everton play the last game of the round in 1. Who are you saying? Newcastle, Nuff, and Forest. So Newcastle play the last game in game week 2. Forest are late in the week as well. Everton are... Oh, I'm looking at manageable times for Australia as well. Like 11 o'clock in Australia. Last game of the round's great. Game week 3, we've got Palace. We've got Everton playing sort of midweek. But I'm more looking, mate. Like, honestly, I'm more looking at Cole Palmer and when his games play in retrospective to that. So, yeah, I mean, it doesn't really matter what nuff you pick. Just make sure that, like, you're going to be awake to change the loop, especially in, like, a situation on a Sunday. Normally a goal rush, normally 4 or 5 games happening at midnight, and then you got a game at 2:30. Look, I think 5 o'clock, if you're going to set an alarm for 5, like, that's more manageable. But yeah, it's this slot here. It's the midnight into 2:30 game, which is going to bin a lot of people if they don't get the loops right. But yeah, we'll have a look at some player options. We'll have a look at some player ownerships before we wrap up. Hopefully you got some value out of it. We've got nearly, Jesus Christ, 100 concurrent viewers, which I actually more than that. Way more than I thought that would actually enjoy listening to me ramble on a Friday night about a bunch of blokes kicking a ball. Let's go ownership. Have a look at some guys that we like and loathe. Palmer at 56 makes sense. Frimpong at 43 I think is high, but I can understand it. Shiny new toy syndrome makes sense. Haaland at 43%, yeah, that makes sense. Rodri at 40 is fine. I'm happy to run Rodri as enough if you don't enough goalkeeper. David Raya, I think it's fine. He's priced at what he's priced at. Arsenal's defense aren't bad enough that they're going to concede a shit ton of shots. He's not going to rack up that. But the value in Raya is he's going to be playing 38 games. Mo Salah at 30%, I think, is insane. I just can't trust a bloke off a record season with 4 changes, potentially 5 if Isak comes in their style. I know he's the GOAT. I know he's him. But it's so much money. 15.5 million is so much money. Mickey van der Ven, that's fine. Destiny or Doggy is crazy. Get him out of your team. Get James Trafford out of your team as well. If you want enough, that's fine. Go cheaper than 3.9. Kobe Mainu at 26% is a bit how you going. Like, is he locked in to be playing in that pivot with Bruno? Not sure. Manuel Ugarte, Casemiro. Hell, even Mason Mount if you're playing him more attacking. I think there's better midfielders. Kyle Walker, what are we doing? 4.2 million for a 36-year-old playing centre-back for Burnley. 3.9 million for Maximus Steve. 3.7 million for Hartman if you want to be going Burnley to get Kyle Walker out of your team. Miles or Skelly, I'm not a huge fan of. Deadly's more of a fan. He's more of a MLS guy than me. But I can understand the appeal. 3.9 million potentially starting for Arsenal. VVD at 21% is a lot. I thought it's higher than I would have thought. Not a bad pick. It's Virgil van Dijk. He's the best defender in the world. But it's higher than I thought. Salah will be a trade in and out. I think you guys mentioned it before. SC Playbook guys missed the fact that he'll be out for AFCON, so you'll need a few trades as long as you can't hold that price that long. Yeah, mate. Yeah, I'm not sure what the Playbook guys are doing. Didn't even know they had a podcast. But yeah, they definitely it's definitely worth noting with Salah as well. For anyone that's not familiar, AFCON, the African Cup of Nations, Salah will be representing Egypt. They generally do okay. They're not like a finalist team, but they're not a bum either. So he'll be away for like at least 5 weeks around game week 15. So if you're starting with Salah, fine, it's Salah. But yeah, he'll be out for probably at least 5 weeks in around game week 15. So he's definitely a trade out then. And that's sort of something you need to consider. Florian Wirtz at 20%, fine. Martin Odegaard at 19%. Don't love it, to be honest. Don't love him as a pick at 7.9 million. Lenny, you're at 18% owned, could be good. Bruno at 17. But like, what I mean is, like, if we scroll down to hell, even the sub 3% guys, and we'll say like Christian Romero at 5.9 could be great. Could be great for a 6 million defender. Hopefully an improved Tottenham side. He's been named captain, so he's absolutely nailed. Some other guys that are like below this price, I think, are unbelievable value. Ethan Ampadu, I think, is a really good price as well. Obviously, Solanke, if we know that he starts, could be good. Mitchell, any love for Papasar? I don't know. Like, I really don't know. I'd love for the transfer window to be shut tomorrow. They're in for so many people. They're in for Eze. They were in for Savinho. Like, it's clear they want to bolster up that front line. There's no guarantee he stays at 10, but there's also no real guarantee he stays in a pivot either. Frank was coming out and saying, I believe it may have been Basuma, or it may have been like Bentancur. One of those important figures in the pivot was continually late to training, and that's why Frank made a stance on them. So maybe you could get some more role in the 8 or the 6. There is some love, good price. If he stays at 10, absolutely. I'm not really looking to take a risk. Benjamin Sesko, 2% owned. Nicholas Fulkrug at 2% owned. Igor Thiago at 2% owned. Like, there's so many guys here that Basuma. Yeah, use Basuma. I knew it was like Basuma or Bentancur, like one of those guys that sits in the pivot. They want him out now because of it. I think he also wants to go. I've heard some reports that he wants to leave as well. But this is what we were saying about ownership before, right? Like, there's so many guys that are low owned. Like Dan James at 3.9% could be absolutely unreal as well, like playing right wing for Leeds. John Arias at 1.5%. Omar Mamouche at 1.4% owned. If you don't have Haaland, I think Mamouche could be a great little counter. Like there's like Robin Roof, starting goalkeeper for Sunderland at 3.9 million at 1.4% owned. Morgan Rogers at 7.7 and 1.4. Like there's a heap of guys here that have got like unbelievable value. John Philippe Mateta, 7.3% at 1.2% owned. Yuri Tielemans, priced at a premium. But if he's on pens, he could be absolutely a steal at 1.2% owned as well. So there are so many guys that are sort of slipping through the cracks a little bit because they're not household names. Coyote at below 1% owned, get on board. Attacking right back for Brentford, underpriced. Absolutely. Like, there's a heap of guys that are under 1% owned. Mark Guehi, like if he gets a move to Liverpool, like you're paying 9 for Virgil van Dijk, you could be paying 8 for Gehi as well if he gets in the minute. So yeah, building your team off ownership is a great start, but I'm not going to use it as gospel because as we've seen here, like there are guys. Do I own anyone that's like ridiculously low owned? Hartman. Completely Hartman, 0.7% owned. And I don't like to say that I move the market, but 6 people owned him when I tweeted about him. So it just shows you that there are guys that are there. Deadly. How much is my man? How much is? I reckon he'd be rock bottom low. I don't reckon anyone would be owning him. 80 people own Tosin and Adebayo, who Maresca has come out and said is their best centre-back for Chelsea. So there are guys that are slipping through the cracks. So if you are building your team now, ownership, great place to start. There are guys here that I'd be happy to own in that price point. But there are so many guys, like I wouldn't own the 2nd, the 4th, the 5th, the 8th, the 9th, the 10th, the 11th, 12th, 15th, 18th, 19th owned players. Rasmus Højlund at 17% is absolutely insane. But I reckon that's plenty of time. I think 45 minutes. We've answered a ton of questions. We've had a heap of questions, a heap of engagement. Really, really happy with the EPL turnout, and really, really thankful. It makes me and Deadly much more. What's the word? Enthused to make content. Nothing worse than slaving away for 40 weeks for something that no one appreciates or watches. So we absolutely love that you guys have gotten around it. Yeah, look, give us a follow. SCWhisperer on Twitter, SC Deadly on Twitter. Reach out to either one of us for the link to the WhatsApp. I made a tweet about it. Our WhatsApp's totally free. Deadly saying the Rogers news at midnight, he's so ready for it. Deadly doesn't sleep. I'm quite switched into the news that's happening. We post all the team leaks, any team news, anything that we get, our teams, our updates. There's a place there for you guys just to chat, ask questions to each other, ask questions to us. It's a very small community, much more small than the NRL and AFL spaces. So please feel free to join the WhatsApp. It's going to be an absolutely ripping season. We will see you back on Saturday to recap Game Week 1, preview Game Week 2, and we're doing that for every single week from now until, goodness, the end of May. 38 weeks. Yeah, cheers. Mitch, thanks for the Q&A. Cheers to the pods. Absolutely not a problem, mate. Thank you for watching. I've been the SCWhisperer. You've been watching Insight Fantasy Sports podcast. You've been listening to Talking Tactics. Thank you. Good night.